The M16 assault rifle, or I should say tactical rifle in this game, which I'm still not going to get used to calling it that, is probably regarded as one of the more OP weapons in Cold War Zombies, which is not a shotgun or wonder weapon. And Treyarch has never really, well, the weapon has been barely touched since day one for Cold War. The only buff Treyarch did really give to the weapon was the bullet velocity during the around Season 3 or 4 update, where they buff a lot of the guns, especially with their bullet velocities. But the M16 still remains untouched, and when you compare it to the other weapons in its class, like the AUG, it doesn't really stand a chance because when you pack punch the M16, of course called the Skull Splitter, you actually get 6-round bursts as opposed to a 3-round burst. And the AUG still retains its 3 bursts when it's packed. And so in terms of your DPS overall, the M16 just reigns supreme. The only other weapon that could be competitive in the same class would be the Carve 2, which I usually call it the G11 since it looks exactly the same gun back in Black Ops 1. It also spews a lot of damage, and it doesn't have a very fast rate of fire. It shoots like, I think like 389 RPM within the burst. But I think between the bursts, the AUG is more faster, but I think when they added G11 is the fastest in terms of the burst delay in class, in terms of how short you can follow up your shots again. And the M16 has been mostly the go-to choice for defeating the Legion boss in the first main quest of Outbreak. And the one thing, of course, I know about the M16 is the weapon doesn't really hold off too well as a camping weapon. Mainly due to the burst delay being way too slow to follow up another shot when you get overwhelmed. So the weapon is more designed for mobility. I even checked around a few of the attachments, including the stock attachments, and I found out that the SAS combat stock gives you a 78% movement speed while you aim down your sight, or ADS. Which, combined with stamina up, I think it's I forget, I think it's either a tier 1 or, I do believe it's tier 1 where, no, I think it's tier 3, where when you ADS, you actually walk faster, so it's kind of like the old Stalker perk from Modern Warfare 3 and the older COD games. So the M16 was definitely more designed around for mobility wise. And since the damage do so much, it takes one freaking burst to mostly kill many things. Of course, I'm just on round 33, which mostly here, weapons usually, few auto weapons, most ARs and SMG would actually struggle, especially with their time to kill. Like either weapons have either too low of a rate of fire or their damages is too much. And sometimes the recoil, it's too high for most players to handle. So the M16 just fits somewhere between and fits very nicely. It's very easy to use, and plus its very accessibility is even greater too, because you don't have to get this weapon by doing a certain weapon challenges, unlike the Carve 2, which to do it in Zombies, to unlock it, you had to get 250 long shot kills in Outbreak with using a tactical rifle. Now, I'm not really sure if it's actually 250 kills or 300, but all I know for a fact is you need to get a lot of long shot kills, which is gonna take a lot out of many people. Now, I did use with the M14 and not the M16. And of course, I will show off my attachments at the close to the end of the video. Now, of course, show you a bit of example that it can work well with Ring of Fire for a little bit, but I just think there's like better field upgrades to work with the M16 here besides Ring of Fire. Ether Shroud, Frenzy Guard works well, Tesla Storm. Anything that's like anything about mobility wise. And then of course, sadly I got myself killed right here. So here we are with the Legion boss fight. So basically showing how powerful this thing, the M16 can do. Now, of course, for the attachment you can switch it up compared to what I have. Now, if you don't think the Task Force barrel is really much needed for the extra damage, range, and the bullet velocity, you can switch it out for the Cavalry Lance barrel, just to give it more armor damage, especially for Legion. And you don't have to take the fuel agent foregrip, but of course I like to have just have a much lower recoil. That way, all my shots point out, hit on the same target mark. So having either the Infiltrator, the Patrol, or the Bruiser Grip are also great on the M16 if you want that mobility. But it also comes down to what the perks you have, especially what tier it's at. Since I got most of my perks, everything in tier 5, it's all about pretty much which attachment to choose from. And thanks to the 6-round burst, it is able to destroy that orb with just one hit. And I did try it out with the AUG as well in this. Same setup, same attachments, and I failed the Legion boss with the AUG because the AUG just does not dish out enough DPS compared to the M16, because like I mentioned before, the M16, when you pack-a-punch it, you get 6 rounds fire at a time, while the AUG still retains 3, which I really was hoping that Treyarch could actually buff the AUG in zombies. They could either do 2 things. One, when it's pack-a-punch, make it full auto, like it should be, because I can never even understand the logic why an AUG can be able to convert to a 3-round burst, which in real life, there's not even a fire selector on the thing, and you can't even convert it to a 3-round burst at all. And the second option I would give for the AUG is to, well, just buff the damage. Make the damage even better than the M16. And honestly, I would love to see it happening. As well for the 2 semi-auto attack rifles, being the Type 63 and the M14, which not even the semi-autos don't even stand a chance with the M16. Like, the semi-autos are feel a little bit more weak compared to the burst fire counterparts, which in like older games they were pretty well balanced for most part, but here they seem to be shafted quite just a bit. So the M16, I would say it's just definitely one of my, I would say, considered to be a top 5 weapons in Cold War zombies. Heck, even maybe a top 3 as well. Because it's simple, you just point and shoot in that direction and pray that most of your bullets will connect to your target. Especially when you have dead shot and you have a control over the aim assist. You just melt stuff in your way. And of course, the M16 is better than the shotguns when it comes to long range. So, yeah. Overall, The M16 is really powerful. I think this is the most powerful M16 carnate they have ever done compared to the other previous games. This is probably the most powerful M16 we have in Zombie today. But yeah, thank you for watching, everyone. Until next time, farewell, and have a wonderful day, everyone.